You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim GRIESHABER. Call me Grease. You see it on the screen right there. Got the throwback bad boy on tonight, and we needed the Florida/Miami Marlins to come out with a win, but they were unable to do so. The Marlins got every hit, but the big one tonight will take you through a brilliant performance once again by the Marlins bullpen in a game that they could have and probably should have won. You're watching your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim GRIESHABER. Call me Grease, and the first thing I want to do every single show is let you know how much I love you because you're here every day, right? I mean, you everydayers. I can't say enough how much I feel gratitude for you and being here every single day. So I just want to let you know, I want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen, your first watch every day. We know you have choices, but hey, we're free. We're available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. So you can't get away from us. Actually, we're coming. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And tonight's show in particular is brought to you by FanDuel. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. I love being sponsored by FanDuel. Make every moment more right now. New customers get $150. I've been saying this every day. $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. Let me say that again. $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet from FanDuel. And you visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to get you started. And we are started today on the show. The Marlins lose 3-2 in the desert. Not the best night for the Marlins offense, but not the worst either by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, this is literally something that, you've seen this a few times with this team. And make sure I get this here. Let me see. Is that right? Get this. Sometimes there we go. Get here a little bit. Make sure you guys got me. But you know what? It's one of those games tonight with the Marlins where, they had 11 hits, man. They had 11 hits in this game. And, you end up losing this game 3-2. And, it happens, right? It's Major League Baseball. They're great pitchers on the other side, too. Not good, great. You heard me right. And I'm going to get to Sixto Sanchez in a minute. I've been tough on Sixto. I'm going to get back to him in a minute. And just checking out some of the things that I wanted to get to here. The Marlins got 11 hits and they scored 2 runs. You're in a 9-inning game. You get 11 hits. That's more than a hit per inning, right? And you know what I mean? You just couldn't get the big hit. You got every hit but the big one tonight. And they weren't. You got a Berger hit a double, Myers hit a double, Rivera hit a double, Chisholm hit a double. Ketel Marte, man, what a wizard he is on defense. Robbed. Who did he rob? He robbed Emmanuel of a hit tonight. Rivera, the leaping catch. But they left 8 runners on base. They're 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Let me say that again. They left 8 runners on base, and they were 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They struck out way too many times, 8 times again tonight. In the 8th inning, you had a guy on second with 1 out. I think it was Rivera. Yeah, he had doubled, and you get Chisholm and Anderson. Strike. 2 strikeouts in a row. And, all of a sudden, things aren't going your way. But look, the Marlins have been great. They've still won 8 out of 12, right? They've still won 3 series in a row, looking to make it 4 tomorrow with Ryan Weathers, who's been great, on the mound tomorrow. So all is not lost in Marlins land. Look, it's been really good lately. It started horribly with the 9-game losing streak. You've had a 6-gamer in there and a 5-gamer in there as well. Been a tough year. You day-by-dayers know, every day you're watching this team, and every day you're waiting. You see the talent there. You see the way that they play. You love that fire in their eyes. You love the way they scrap. Love the way Skip Schumacher has this team playing. I'm not going to lie. But they never give up. They're never out of a game. They kick, they scratch, they claw. Yeah, they're going to make you mad. They're going to run into some outs, and they did it again tonight. Chisholm got thrown out of third. They've done it a couple of times recently where they run themselves out of innings. They're going to make some silly errors here and there. You're going to have a couple of starters that aren't going to have good outings. Like Garrett's had a couple of bad ones. Sanchez has been awful, and he pitched tonight. So we'll give you the lowdown on Sixto Sanchez. And I know it seems like I'm looking down a lot. It's the monitors right below the camera where I'm picking up all my stuff from. But, man, it really is, look, Sixto Sanchez was good tonight, but he wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. But again, starting with the offense, they got every hit but the big one tonight. And, we'll take you through the scoring real quick. And it's in the description as well. Keep an eye on the clock here. All right. So in this game here, and you're looking at, of course, just the scoring plays. The Marlins got on the board first in the first inning. And that was, look, the Diamondbacks, and he's not bad, by the way. Jordan Montgomery's pretty good. He's a pretty good pitcher, and he was decent out there tonight for Arizona. So I don't want to just say that the Marlins hitters couldn't get the big hit. I mean, Montgomery was a big part of that, right? So he's the starter. The Marlins come out. They get 3 hits in the first inning. They got 4 hits in the first inning and 2 hits in the second inning last night, ended up with a run. Today, they get 3 hits in the first inning. They end up with a run. Yeah, I'm splitting hairs. Yeah, I'm being a little picky, but 3 hits in the first inning, and you only get 1 run. Okay, that's not something that you really want to be proud about. So, Myers leads off the game, and whenever Dane Myers plays great, they put him in a leadoff spot, right? And they move Chisholm down to 6, and moving Chisholm up and down, and then they're starting Myers, and he did well tonight. Doubles and scores on a 1-out single by Jordan Bell, who's been coming around, right? He's been coming around. He's like 10 for 30 or something like that, or 10 for 24 before tonight, or whatever it was recently. Really starting to come around, average up to 230, and it had been a long, dark hole for Bell for a while. So you get De La Cruz flying out to center after Myers doubles to right, and then Bell singles to left and Myers scores, right? So you have Bell on first, and that's it at that point. Then you have Berger. He singles. Bell can only go to second. Then Rivera strikes out looking, and Chisholm grounds out. So you only got the 1 run. Diamondbacks come up in the first and score 2. Walker doubles to right. Carroll scores. Gurriel Jr. doubles to center. And Walker scored on an error. But it wasn't an unearned run, believe it or not. So there you have it. It's 2-1 D-backs. And then, you're moving forward in the game. Nothing's happening. Top of the second and the bottom of the second, the D-backs actually scored again. But in the top of the second, the D-backs go 1-2-3, and they barely even saw any pitches from Montgomery in that inning. And then in the second inning, Carroll hits a sacrifice fly to left field. Suarez scores. The Diamondbacks take a 3-1 lead. It stays that way. It stays that way. It stays that way. Marlins in the third go 1-2-3 again. The second and third innings, I believe they were the only 1-2-3 innings of the night until the ninth. So they went 1-2-3 in the ninth, I believe, as well. Yeah, they did. So in the fourth inning, the Marlins started trying to get things going a little bit. Berger reaches on an infield single. Look, Bell's starting to get going, and Berger is starting to get going. And I told you before this road trip started, we're only 2 games in, Bell and Berger can get going in the middle of that lineup the way that DLC's been hitting, the way that, the guys down toward the bottom of the order have been they've been showing up and showing out, right? So you get those guys in the middle going, Berger and Bell, and that'll really help you a lot. So Berger reaches on an infield single. Rivera crushes that ball, man, Kettle Marte. And that's a big turning point in this game. It's the top of the fourth inning. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. And at that point, that's a run. That ball was going to go all the way to the wall. And, Berger's not exactly the fleetest of foot. And remember, they had the overturn call. Berger trying to steal second. They called him safe, and then they reviewed it and called him out. And that was a big turning point in this game as well. But, Berger hits the infield single. Rivera crushes that ball. Marte climbs the ladder, goes up and gets it. And then Berger gets thrown out stealing on the very next play. So the infield single, the great catch, Berger would have never been trying to steal second because he'd have been running around the bases on that hit by Rivera. So then Chisholm walks and Anderson grounds out to third. Bottom 4, Sanchez with a pretty good inning. And then you have the top of the fifth, the Marlins again threatening 2 more hits, and they cannot score. Lopez flies out. Bethancourt singles to center. Myers with a bullet lines out to shortstop. They were hitting the ball hard all night, but they just never could get that big hit. De La Cruz singles to left. Bethancourt's on second, 2 outs, and Bell grounds out to third, right? And then in the 6th inning, and I'll hit the break here in just a minute, the Marlins in the 6th inning, Berger doubles to center field, right? And then you got Rivera grounding out to third. Chisholm doubles to right. Berger scores. Chisholm gets thrown out trying to stretch it at third. They originally called him safe too. And a beautiful slide by him, and he wasn't safe. So then Anderson singles, right? And if Chisholm hadn't been trying to stretch that into third base, and you know what I'm saying? It would have been another run. It's little things like this that have happened way too many times this season. They're turning a corner, they're scrapping, they're fighting, they're charging hard, they're playing the way you want to see them play. The bullpen's lights out. They're getting great starts. They almost, and good Lord, I thought Jesus would come at the end of the game if this happened, but Sixto Sanchez almost gave them a quality start. Man, and then what happens? You end up losing the game 3-2, and it happens. It's baseball, but 11 hits, 8 runners left on base, 8 strikeouts. Chisholm gets thrown out at third, Berger thrown out at second. I mean, these things are just, come on, they're happening way too often. But I will say this, players getting thrown out, trying to take that extra base, trying to make something happen. I would much rather have that all day long than the other type of stuff that makes teams struggle, which is complacency or players who just aren't that good, right? This team has figured a lot of things out, and they will keep getting better throughout the year, and I guarantee that. There's no doubt that they will. 7th inning, look, it's Sanchez singles with 1 out, hits for Myers. De La Cruz grounds out to the fielder's choice. Bell grounds out. And then the top of the 8th inning, Thompson comes in for the D-backs, right? And what happens? Berger grounds out. Rivera doubles to right. And you're thinking, okay, guy on second, 1 away. They bring in Mantiply, and what happens? Chisholm Jr. strikes out swinging. Anderson strikes out swinging. And then Sewald, of course, in the 9th inning, ground out, strikeout, foul out, game over. And your Miami Marlins do not get the victory. And it's just, that's the way the game went. So pretty much every hit but the big one for the Miami Marlins tonight. 11 hits, 8 runners left in scoring position, 8 strikeouts. You had opportunity. 4 hits in an inning and you score 1 run. You just got to figure out ways. The Phillies do, the Braves do, the Dodgers do, the Yankees do. You figure out ways to push those runs across the plate. You figure out ways to scratch it out, claw it out, find a way to win those games. And that is a huge difference between last year and this year. The Marlins won most of these games last year. This year, they are not, at least not so far. But lately, they've been a lot better, and they will wrap up the series tomorrow. Hey, still looking for their 3rd straight series win, and tomorrow's game is huge. 4:10 Eastern, first pitch with Ryan Weathers. We'll talk about him in the final segment as well, because that forecast could be looking good. He's been great lately. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast on Locked On Sports Miami. You are listening to your Locked On Marlins postcast wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple Music, whether it is iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, we got it, and we are there. My name is Jim GRIESHABER. Call me Grease. Back right after this on your Locked On Marlins postcast. I bata. And then I returned her. That was really bad. Sorry, guys. It's been a long week, man. I have my son graduating and his birthday. Graduated college birthday this month. My daughter's just turned 17. I got her boyfriend graduating. We got a big, crazy month, working a bunch of jobs and nonstop. But it's pretty cool when I get a chance to talk to you about some of the people who help us bring you these shows every single day, because Locked On Your Favorite Teams, Locked On Your Favorite Leagues, Locked On Your Favorite Teams postcasts. Yeah, that's a big initiative that we're rolling out this summer. It takes a lot of people to pull this off, and some of the most important ones are some of the people I'm about to tell you about right now. Your Locked On Marlins postcast is brought to you in part by Ibotta. That's right, Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies to toys. So you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you are purchasing. Again, Ibotta is a free app, gives you the most cash back every time you shop. The average Ibotta user earns $256 a year. Wouldn't you want to do that? It's free money just for spending. You're going to spend anyway. See what I'm saying here? They cover the entire cost of one shopping trip or more, right? Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, just add your offers in the app, upload your receipt, and you get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Join the over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands and retailers, including all of your favorite grocery stores: Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. Of course, spring is sprung. Flowers won't be the only thing you're growing when you use Ibotta. You can watch your cash back grow with every purchase you make. And the summertime's coming, and when everything's blooming, and you got that Ibotta cash. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners and viewers $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB. Why do I have my hands behind my back like I'm locked up or something? Locked On MLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code Locked On MLB. That's Ibotta, IBOTTA, IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code Locked On MLB. Also want to talk to you about my friends at Supply House, another proud sponsor of your Locked On Marlins postcast. And, it's pretty dope when you start thinking about all the things that the services and the new world and all the things that have happened for us, and no matter what walk of life you're stepping through right now, we have these people who are here to help you no matter what type of industry you're in, no matter what you're doing. That's right. Skilled trades, you're no different. Listen to this. If you're a skilled tradesman, order supplies from the website that's made for the skilled trades. Find thousands of parts from hundreds of brands in just a couple of clicks at supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com gives you 24/7 access to a huge selection, that's you, of plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with fast delivery anywhere in the U.S. Need help with an order? No problem. Get industry-leading after-sales service from their friendly and knowledgeable customer support team and talk to a real person every single time at Supply House. And after all, isn't that what you're looking for these days? Customer service. That actually is customer service. There's great news for plumbers, technicians, and contractors as well. Being a pro has its perks. Trade industry professionals can join their free TradeMaster program for free shipping and serious discounts on every order. Over 100,000 pros already trust the TradeMaster program to deliver results for them. You should too. Apply for your membership today and get a competitive edge on every order at supplyhouse.com/T-M. Save money and time when you order online. Order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service, just like us here with Locked On. Quick question for you as we roll along with your Locked On Marlins postcast. 3-2 Diamondbacks in the Desert tonight. Series even at a game apiece. Yeah, the Marlins win streak is snapped. It's 4 and done, but a really good stretch for them right now. They've been playing good bait. 11 hits tonight. Just couldn't get that big one to bust it open. Too many runners left in scoring position. Too many strikeouts. Sixto Sanchez gave you a decent start. To me, that's all he's ever going to do. I don't know why he's going to be in the rotation moving forward. I'd love to see them find somebody else who can take that ball every 5 days because he's had enough opportunities, in my opinion, ample opportunities. We'll see. I mean, I don't manage the club. Skip does. But before we keep going with the show, I have a question for you. You watching Fox Sports? You watching ESPN on your TV? Well, no one's watching Undisputed anymore. But if you have to turn down the volume with all that shouting, make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you, that's right, you, the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'll say that again, your team every day. Locked On Podcast Network as we roll along. That's what you do, kid, roll along. That's right. What song is that? Don't be cheating. All right, Marlins lose 3-2. And you know what? We got a recap up now, finally. I don't even know why it took so long for this recap to be popping up here. But let's see if I missed anything in my game recap that I can share with you here. And, of course, we're still talking about the 3-2 loss. We're still talking about the 11 hits that they got and the 8 runners left on base. They had more hits than runners left on base. The forecast looking good for tomorrow. Weathers, we'll talk about that as well. Jordan Montgomery goes 6 quality innings. And the Diamondbacks just kind of hang on to beat the Marlins. Let's see if they get Christian Walker and Gurriel hit back-to-back RBI doubles in the first inning. Montgomery, 6 quality innings, 3-2 win over the Marlins, the defending National League champs, 11-7 since May 5th. They're still not at 500. They're 25-27. Sewald has 4 saves and 4 opportunities in a row. Got the Marlins in order in the 9th. Came back from the injured list on May 7th. Their bullpen is back where it should be right now. Myers with a leadoff double. Bell drives him in with a single. D-backs take the 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first. Marlins cut it to 3-2 on Chisholm's double, thrown out at third. Yeah, there you go. We had that all. We talked about all this here. Sixto, 3 runs, 5 hits over 5 innings. He's 0-3. That breaking ball just still screaming, hit me right in the middle of the zone. And the D-backs won. Get this. Diamondbacks won in spite of the fact that they did not have a hit after the 4th inning. They did not have a hit after the 4th inning, and they still won. This is unbelievable. Their pitching staff did great, though. The Diamondback, you got to give them credit with Thompson and Mantiply and Seawald, and the Marlins, too, with Bender, Nardi, and Farche. Those bullpens were scoreless, man. 3 scoreless innings for the Marlins bullpen and 3 scoreless innings for the Diamondbacks bullpen. That, my friend, is relief pitching of the highest caliber. So good for both teams, and they'll wrap it up tomorrow. And this is where I talked about Weathers. The forecast looking good with Ryan Weathers on the hill against undecided for the Diamondbacks. And we'll find out at another point in time. Keep checking online to see. But you know what? Ryan Weathers, we'll talk about him on the other side because he has been absolutely lights out lately. And Luzardo probably won then Weathers too, as far as the way that they've been pitching lately. We're going to wrap it up in just a moment. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast with me, Jim GRIESHABER. Call me Grease. We're here after every Marlins game, just as we will be after every Dolphins game, after every University of Miami football game. And then again, when the NBA starts again, it'll be the Miami Heat and that postcast. So that's dope. And it's right here on Locked On Sports Miami and Spotify, Apple Music. I almost say iTunes every time. It's Apple Music now, and it's iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it. Man, how about Ryan Weathers? His last 2 starts, an ERA of 1.29. He gets the rock tomorrow for the Diamondbacks, trying to win their 3rd straight series in a row, make that their 4th straight series in a row, and that was a double. What did I just call it? It's double entendre, right? They're winning their 3rd straight series in a row. Yeah, it would be their 4th straight series, Jim. The Tigers, Mets, Brewers, D-backs. And then they of course, have one more series on the road. So there you have it. The Marlins drop it 3-2. We are going to take a quick break, come back and just wrap it up. Weather's forecast looking good. Locked On Marlins postcast. And I want to tell you about my friends at FanDuel. FanDuel, proud sponsor of your Locked On Marlins postcast and the entire Locked On Sports Network. It's winner take all time in the NBA. It's winner take all time in the NHL. Look at those Panthers right now, huh? And FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. That's right. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. New customers, $150. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. And FanDuel is also a proud sponsor of your Locked On Marlins postcast and a proud sponsor of Locked On Sports Today. We have launched, that's right, we, being Locked On, has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV channels app. So get that Fire Stick out and come on, let's go. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today. Let me do that again. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. Boom. I get excited talking about these things. I mean, obviously, right? Get pretty excited having some fun talking about these things right here, man. And of course, you'll be here with me after every Marlins game. You day-by-dayers, every dayers, day-to-dayers. We're all day-to-dayers, whatever the case may be. Let's look at Ryan Weathers pitching against undecided tomorrow. And I hope undecided brings his A game, because Ryan Weathers has been bringing his last couple of starts. He has been fantastic, and he was getting pretty decent before they got the bad outing in the 12-9 loss on April the 28th against the Nats. And that game saw him go 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs on April 28th. Then against the A's at Oakland on the 3rd of May, he goes 6 innings, 5 earned runs. That's a quality start. Things are starting to turn around. Next time out, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. quality start. 2 in a row, 3 earned runs in 6 innings, quality starts against the A's and the Dodgers. And the A's were crushing the ball at that point. I don't know what they're doing right now. They were killing the ball when Weathers faced them. 3-1. And then the Dodgers, the $500 gazillion deferred payment kings of Major League Baseball in their own minds, the Dodgers beat them 3-1. So 2 quality starts in a row, A's, Dodgers on the road. Start to see that confidence building, momentum growing. For Weathers, what does he do? He goes to Detroit next time out. Look, 3 straight starts on the road before he got Milwaukee at home. But against Detroit, a 1-0 game in 10 innings. He got a no decision, but he goes 8 innings, allowed just 3 hits, struck out 4. And then Milwaukee, last time out, they get a 3-2 win in 10 innings. He goes 7, and he gets the allowing 2 hits. And he was fantastic. 1 earned run last time out with 8 strikeouts against Milwaukee, son of former Marlin David Weathers and the former Padre. His whip's down to 111. His ERA is 3.49. He's 2-4 on the year, but man, he has dropped that ERA like a brick these last few times out, and he's been great. He's throwing sinkers. He's throwing split. He's all over the zone. I mean, I like Weathers a lot. I really do. I really do like Weathers a lot. He's a guy who, from Tennessee. I don't know. He's no nonsense. He goes out there, he takes the ball, and he's going to compete. And he's going to compete hard the whole night. So I'm excited to see what he does tomorrow. He's been, like I said, terrific the last couple of times out. Josh Bell's been hitting better, right? And we'll see who the Diamondbacks pitch tomorrow. And that I know will go a long way toward determining what happens with that lineup. But when you look at, and I'll see if before we get off the air, I can let you know. But Myers might get another start depending on who's pitching. I mean, Sanchez had the day off today. He'll be back in the lineup. I'm sure they love Sanchez. De La Cruz is a day-by-day or every day. Bell, Berger starting to hit. Bell's coming around. Chisholm probably be back in a leadoff spot tomorrow if Dane Myers. Come on, Jim. Dane Myers doesn't start. Oh, my Lord. I'll be okay. Lopez, I don't know. He's had a couple tough games. Anderson, since coming back, we'll see if they give those guys a break in the middle. Bethancourt caught the night game tonight, so you'd have to think that Fortes will catch tomorrow. Gordon had the night off tonight. Sanchez had the night off tonight. So we'll see tomorrow for the Marlins. But it's going to end with Ryan Weathers. But even if he pitches like he has been, this offense has got to start developing that knack for the big hit. Those late inning wins against the Mets, you started seeing it. Tonight, they just needed it. They just need one dude to come up with the big hit. Man, Rivera almost did it, got robbed by Marte. That right there would have probably scored Berger from first. But either way, that robbed them of a big inning. So there were some things tonight that were a little bit out of their control. And, they end up not getting the W. But can't win every game, right? You got to win the series. They've won 3 series in a row. Just keep winning those series. Play 66%. You know what I'm saying? 66%, baby. 2 out of 3. And you are going to be just freaking fine. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. That's for you, Mad Dog Jim Mandich, one of my favorites of all time, big mentor in my life as well. The Marlins dropped this one 3-2, the middle game of 3-game series against the Diamondbacks in Phoenix, Arizona. 3-2. Again, the final 11 hits, 8 runners left on base, 8 strikeouts in back of Sixto Sanchez, who was actually decent tonight, but didn't factor in the outcome of the game all that much. Diamondbacks win despite not getting a hit. After the 4th inning, the Marlins threatened a couple times, but could not get the big hit. Ryan Weathers on the bump tomorrow to close out this series and see if they can win their 4th 3-game series in a row. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. Also, that game's at 4:10 Eastern, and we'll be on right after with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We are out.